Hello, welcome to ST Reviews. Today I'm going to take you through a review on something that I've recently picked up. So if you have seen some other videos, I've done a couple of reviews on some key devices or key carriers or key cases or smart devices and so forth. But traditionally I would use something like this awesome Orbit key. And what it also resulted in me doing is, in addition to having the Orbit key with my keys in it, I would have to have some sort of a device or a tag to carry my AirTag with me. And I thought, you know what, let's have a look what's out there in the market. Something that will combine a device to carry my everyday keys, but also that will enable me to carry my AirTag with it together, not having to have too much dangle on the keys. So I think I found the unit, or so I did think, so I'm going to take you through it. So if you're wondering what on earth I'm talking about, I've previously used a KeySmart device, which is this one here. And what this particular KeySmart device is, similar to the Orbit key, allows you to have your keys inside it, but also it's got a built-in tracker, which is compatible with AirTag, which I found it to be a little bit unreliable. So much so that even if your keys were lost inside the house, you press on your iPhone to find them, this bloody thing wouldn't go off. So I thought, you know what, it's not really reliable. It doesn't suit, very, very nice to carry and so forth, because it's got a built-in torch and whatnot, but the AirTag component of it didn't really work well. So I figured, you know what, I'll stick with my trusted AirTag, and I went online and purchased this device by the same company, which is the KeySmart Air. So if I can just give you a bit of a closer look. Similar style as the Orbit key, but a little bit different at the same time. So why don't I just flip the camera around and give you a bit of a close-up look, and then take you through what I loved and disliked about this item at the same time. Stay tuned. Okay, so here's the fancy box that it comes with. Basically, compact key organizer for AirTag, something in French, 5 key capacity, carabiner ring, and it's soft touch silicone, durable and weather resistant, which is always a bonus. And then that's as creative as the instructions come on this unit in regards to how to put the keys in. And inside is nothing else. What is this? Oh yeah, on how to assemble it, there's a QR code. Anyway, so without further ado, there were a couple of things. So the unit itself is that one there. So as you can see, it is very similar to the Orbit key, physically as well, although obviously it's a bit wider there where the AirTag goes, but at the back it is slightly smaller, and lengthwise it is shorter. Okay, now first impression, well, when I got it, it is a bit of a lint and dust magnet, which you can't keep clean, but it is what it is, being that it's made out of silicone. It does come with a few of these little washer things that I haven't even taken out of the packet. The reason for that is that if you only have one key, then you need to add some of the washers to fill up the space. If, however, you have a maximum of 5 keys, you only need to use one. So I'll tell you something already, and that's a carabiner that it comes with, which is pretty sort of average, nothing too fancy. But one thing that I am already annoyed about is that I've actually only ever opened this once to put the keys in, and today was the second time that I pulled it apart so I can record this video. And you may already notice here in the groove that I have already scratched it. Now, it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal because A, it's a new unit and the black color has come off pretty quickly, and therefore you can see all the scratches. So, you know, it doesn't look good. Number two, the fact that this particular notch in there where you're supposed to insert a coin and you can't insert a coin. I mean, here's a 10-cent piece Australian. Yeah, not gonna happen. It is very, very shallow. So even if you are to get a little device of some sort in there, it's close to impossible to tighten it and open it up. And I'll show you shortly. So the idea behind this device is you take the screw off, pops open straight up like that, and then you put your, come on there you bugger, you put the one end of the screw, the nut at the bottom, you get your keys, put your keys in, right, it's not rocket science I guess, but you then close it and you screw it on. Now I've only put 2 keys, normally I have at least 5, and I would have used the spaces normally, but just for the sake of this exercise. Now once you get, let's just assume this was quite tight in there now, as seen here, I would then need to use something like this, but this like my Gerber dime or whatever, some sort of a tool to get in there to tighten it. But I can tell you now, I mean, it's very hard to see in this photo, in this video, but it is so shallow and almost impossible to screw it in. And every time I add a bit of pressure and it slips, it scratches it, right? So a bit annoying. And then you just add your air tag through the top of it. Fits in quite firm in there. It's not coming out by itself, I can guarantee. I've used this now for about 2 weeks. No issues with the air tag coming out. Now one thing I have enjoyed though is the fact that it's very flush and very slim, and it's a very small unit. So you know, it doesn't take much for you to hide this inside your bag, your pocket, your jeans, whatever the case may be. Now the annoying part, you asked what the annoying part is. This screw, for whatever reason, and I think it's because they don't use any, the washers at the bottom aren't bent, so they're not like a bit of a, I guess, a resistance or a spring on it. So therefore, when you tighten the screw, with a bit of movement, it loosens up. And as a result, after it loosens up, your keys tend to do that, which defeats the purpose of me having something to hold the keys in. So every now and then you'll take the keys out of your pocket and I'll do that. So what you then have to do is, because you can't screw it in with anything handy because of the stupid narrow little groove, I then have to go home, get a multi-tool or whatever to tighten that up, and then it's fine for a few days. So I guess if you don't mind doing that every couple of days, no worries. If you do, maybe it's going to annoy you. Personally, if I look at something like the Orbit key, and mind you, I'm not sponsored or by either of the companies that haven't been supplied these. I've actually paid for these myself. But if you look at the Orbit key, it does have quite a thick and a deep groove in there. I can get this 10-cent piece and it'll be no problem tightening it. All right, so much so, because it's a bigger nut and screw design, I can do it by hand too. So much better build. Granted, it does cost about 15 or 20 Australian dollars more. Definitely more solid, but I do enjoy having the air tag, because normally what I'd have to do is, if I had my Orbit key here, I'll be also carrying the air tag in another device next to it, and then adding bulk to my keys in my pocket. So this would be perfect. I would rather if this unit had something bigger like the Orbit key to make life a little bit easier. But there's all first world problems, but then again, it's important to highlight. The actual carabiner that comes with it, yeah, it's cheapo, it's basic, but it does the job. I can actually hook up, for example, my keys, my big car key and some other bits and pieces to it, and still have room. Otherwise, you can use one of these cheaper carabiners, something bigger, whatever the case may be, to get the job done. But look, overall, it's not bad, but I do find it very annoying that it does come loose. And because now I've also changed to a Samsung device from iOS, I won't be carrying the AirTag for a while, therefore I'll need to be putting it back on, which will drive me back to my Orbit key. So in summary, if you like the physics of this device and you can see, good user case for it, fantastic, you will enjoy it. If, however, you don't mind retightening that bloody screw every couple of days, if that doesn't bother you, it's a really nice unit. If you're the type of person that like to get things done and have them set and forget, maybe this won't be the right for you. Or if you need to carry more than 5 keys as well, which would be a bit of a struggle. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got any comments, feel free to comment below. If you'd like to see upcoming content, please click the subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications. Otherwise, the least you can do is, if you've liked it, please click the like button. It does help me with my ratings. I don't get paid for this. I'm not sponsored. I've paid for, the gear myself. Nevertheless, thank you for tuning in. My name is Sash and this is ST Reviews. Goodbye.